Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Coral and today I'm going to be doing a book haul for you guys. So, my first group of books comes from Book Outlet's Boxing Day sale. So none of these I needed. I didn't need any of these, but I have a weakness called buying books that are on sale because I think to myself, if it's on sale, I should get it because I know I'm gonna read it someday. I know I'm gonna want to read it, so why not pay for it on sale now rather than wait and then have to pay for it full price at some point. So why do I do this? Okay, the first book here is the only nonfiction book I picked up this month, and that is The Road to Jonestown by Jeff Gwynne. This is about the People's Temple and Jim Jones. If you've never heard of the People's Temple before, first of all, where have you been this whole time? Your whole life? Where have you been? Just kidding. Not everybody likes horrible stuff. But this is about the People's Temple. The People's Temple is a well-known cult. They all moved to a remote part of Guyana in, I believe, the late 1970s, and eventually killed themselves and each other by drinking Flavor Aid laced with cyanide. So it's a pretty awful thing to want to read about, but I'm interested in it. The next thing I picked up was Blood and Sand by C.V. Wick, and I don't know much about this, which is something you'll hear over and over again if you watch my videos, because I don't like to know things about the books I'm going to read, which sometimes causes problems because I pick up things that aren't so good sometimes, but I think this will be good. What I know about it is that it's kind of like a female Spartacus reimagining. It has a beautiful cover, very shiny. You know, I am a crow and I like shiny things. Okay, next up, a book that's part of a series by Shauna McGuire, Down Among the Sticks and Bones. The first book was called Every Heart a Doorway, and that is basically about these children who have found portals to other worlds, and it's like their best world, the world that they feel like they belong in, but somehow they accidentally come back to our world and they're just kind of trying to find their portals again, their best worlds. So I think this one is about some of the kids and their experiences in their best world. Okay, next we have a horror novel called The Damned by Andrew Piper. Again, don't know much about this. I think it's about a man who is haunted by his dead twin. So I don't know if that's just like he's haunted with by his mind, the thoughts of his dead twin, or if he's like physically being haunted. Hopefully it's good. Okay, this next book has gotten a lot of buzz lately. The Last Days of Jack Sparks by Jason Arnott. What I know about this is that it kind of reads like a found footage book. I don't know if that's a thing. There's found footage films. I love those. What I know about this is that Jack Sparks is some sort of journalist and he dies, and we find out how he dies. These next two books are both by Adam Neville. He also wrote The Ritual, which was made into a Netflix movie recently, maybe 2018, 2017, I can't remember. But this is called The House of Small Shadows. This is about a woman who works with antiques, and she gets invited to this famous taxidermist's house, I think, after he dies. And things get weird, as happens in a horror book. The cover is pretty insidious looking. Okay, the other Adam Neville book I picked up is No One Gets Out Alive. This is about a young woman who finds a room to rent and the place she's living is haunted. That's all I know about this one. It's a little bit chunky, so I hope it's good because this is a lot of time to invest into a haunted house story. To have it be bad, Don't let me down, Adam Neville. Okay, this next one is actually 2 novellas put together in one place by one of my favorite female horror authors, Anya Alborn. This contains her novellas, The Pretty Ones and I Call Upon Thee. I don't know what either of them are about. I don't want to know. I just want to be surprised. I love her writing, so I have high hopes. Okay, my last book from Book Outlet is Stephen King's Christine, of course about the evil car, as Stephen King loves to rant about evil cars. What? Did something happen in his childhood? Like, did something bad with a car? Did a car hurt him in some way? I mean, I know he got into a car accident, but that's not really the car's fault. What did cars do to you, Stephen? I have some of the other gallery editions of his books, so I didn't have this one. Found it on Book Outlet. Had to get it. The next 3 books are from a awesome shop I found on Etsy called The Vintage Book Vault, and I have been checking it every day to see if they have new stuff in because I'm so impressed with the things the owner is able to find. The first one I picked up this month is Clive Barker's The Hellbound Heart, which is the novella that Hellraiser is based off of. I've never read it. The cover is so cool. This next one, you know, these old pulpy horror books, I think I just need to read the synopsis to you because I cannot describe these books the way that these synopsises do. So this first one is called Playmates by Andrew Niederman. This is the synopsis. You are a young woman with a 5-year-old daughter traveling upstate to meet your husband. You expect to save a little time on a rural shortcut through the backwoods, but you don't expect the car to break down in a rainstorm. You don't expect the family that lives in the nearby farmhouse to be so odd. Nor do you expect to become their playmates in a violent whirlpool of unrelenting terror. Playmates. It's just a game, and you lose. So, very excited about this. I hope it's as ridiculous as the synopsis. Next up is one I was very excited to find because it's basically in pristine condition. And this is The Keep by F. Paul Wilson. I'm gonna read you this synopsis. The messages received from a Nazi commander stationed in a remote castle high in the Transylvanian Alps. Something is murdering my men. Immediately, an elite SS extermination squad is sent to destroy whatever enemy dares challenge the might of the Third Reich. And the battle is joined, a battle more awesomely terrifying than anything ever experienced, between the ultimate evil created by man and the unthinkable, undreamed of, undead horror it has awakened from centuries of darkness to suck the life from living souls again. A novel of deep horror. That cover is fantastic. These next 2 I got from a different shop I found on Etsy called Occult Pulp. And they also sell pulp horror books. These are great. Okay, these are in a series. I'm not sure if there are books in the series after that, but this is The Brownstone and The Bloodstone by Ken Yulo. So, I'm not gonna read the synopsis for The Bloodstone because it's a sequel, but The Brownstone reads as follows. The old sisters were so kind, so generous, so anxious to have them live in what seemed like the perfect house. They even offered Justin and Chandal the apartment rent-free for the first 6 months. It almost seemed like a miracle, just when they needed it most. Maybe you shouldn't have taken it. Too good to be true, I'd say. So they moved in, eager to make the brownstone their home. Soon Chandal was hearing voices, seeing shadows, wondering about the sisters who seemed so strange. Even Justin seemed to be drifting away into a new passion, photography, which took him down to a world of darkness in the basement. But it wasn't until Chandal saw Justin's photographs that she began to make sense of it all, that the dark mosaic of inexplicable events took on a terrifying shape, that she could understand the sinister reason the sisters made them feel so welcome in the brownstone. Oh, great. It has this nice art. I can't remember what they call that. Backstop? That doesn't seem right. Seems super cool. Seems ridiculous, which is something I love. These next three came in my Nightworms package this month. I did a full unboxing that I can link you to down in the description. The first book is Out Behind the Barn by Chad Lutzke and John Bowden. Next we have Stirring the Sheets, also by Chad Lutzke. And last, Creatures of Want and Ruin by Molly Tanzer. This cover is absolutely breathtaking. I wouldn't mind living in that cover. Okay, and the last book I bought this month is a new release, The Wicked King by Holly Black. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been talking about this because I'm so excited about it. This is the sequel to The Cruel Prince, a book in which a mortal girl, grows up in fairyland, and she just kind of the first book's about her trying to survive in this place where the fairies, they just think mortals are toys. So she gets tricked, she gets poisoned, she gets betrayed, and this is the sequel to that. This cover is also gorgeous. That blue, it's like my favorite color, so obviously I'm gonna love it. All right, that is what I have for you today. Hopefully you liked me talking about books that I bought. I'm gonna try to read some of these soon, especially those old pulpy horror books. I'm so excited to get to this. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. So go ahead and leave me a comment down below if you've read any of these, if you have any opinions about any of them. I'd love to hear what you think. But until next time, see you later, alligators.